Thousands of people turned out to Jersey's annual Battle of Flowers Festival today. After months of work, it's the chance for those involved to showcase their pride and joy, their beautiful floats. Well, let's hand you over now to Hannah Bechelet, who's live in St Helier for us tonight. And Hannah, despite a wet start this morning, the sun's been shining all afternoon, hasn't it?
Yes, Jess, you join me at a very sunny Millbrook where all the floats are coming after the parade and lots of people are coming to see the floats too. It was a very different story weather-wise this morning. That awful rain that we woke up to in Jersey meant that some of the floats delayed setting off this morning because they were so worried that all that water would ruin the efforts that they put in for the last couple of months. Luckily, the sun then came up and you wouldn't have known that we had the rain this morning when it was out there on the arena. Yet again, another wonderful parade with hundreds of people putting in so much effort to make a wonderful spectacular on Victoria Avenue. Luckily, I wasn't the only person from Channel out there enjoying the atmosphere. Our reporter Daniel Skip went along to see the parade too. And Daniel, what did you make of it?
Well, Hannah, it's been a really great day. This is my first Battle of Flowers. It is such a cliche to say this, we hear it every year, but I've been blown away by all the effort, all the detail that goes into these floats. This is kind of the resting area, if you like now. This is where the floats rest, I suppose, before the Moonlight Parade tomorrow. But let's first have a look at some of the highlights of today. What makes this such a special event year on year?
Ladies and gentlemen, have a great afternoon and let battle commence!
For just one day a year, Jersey's busiest road comes to life. Confetti, colour and costumes replace cars. Hours, days, even months of work are finally put to the test. So Billy, this is your fourth year doing Battle of Flowers.
Yes.
What makes you do it every year?
Well, it's the enthusiasm and the excitement that I get while doing the Battle of Flowers. It's great.
And what's it like seeing the public's reaction to all your hard efforts?
Oh, it's amazing. Once you put in all that effort and they see the float, it's absolutely amazing.
And those who've been involved in Battle for years will welcome this young enthusiasm. It's always a team effort for the parish of St Clement. Their success last year was based on all ages getting stuck in. Last year's winner, the pressure's on.
Well, it's not just the fact that we won last year. This year will be our 20th Prix d'Honneur and it's also our 60th year of entry. So it's a big year for us. Our team have really thrown themselves behind this one. We've challenged ourselves. We've come up with something that we're all really proud of.
Have you slept in the last 24 hours?
I haven't slept in the last 48. I've been at the shed since Tuesday, 7 o'clock Tuesday morning.
So this is your first daylight you've seen in a while?
Yes, it is.
But if you were feeling tired today, it didn't take long to wake up. I'm being attacked. You're right. Oh, I thought I had big hands. Interaction with the crowd and media is always to be expected. For the Whiteside family and friends, they're hoping their Peter Pan inspired theme will put them in with a shot this year.
We've been working on it for the last 5 or 6 months, building the float. Specifically, took a lot of work on Big Ben to get the size of it and making sure it all worked well. So yeah, it's been a long old haul.
And you're leading the procession. You're the one going to scare people at the front.
It looks like it. Yes, I am.
But for some, today is a time for remembrance. The Optimist Club's float is inspired by the centenary of the First World War. Is that what Battle's for, as well as having fun, reflecting on these key moments?
I think so. It's all about diversity. People come to watch a parade, they want to see variation in the floats, and what better occasion than to make a statement like this.
What really impressed you about today?
Just the effort that's gone into all the floats moved us to tears. That the Flanders one actually was just so emotional, yeah, and just the lovely spirits and atmosphere. It's been amazing.
It's our first time to Jersey and we'll probably come back again. Yeah, I can see there's lots of locals around about knowing everybody that's taking part.
Glowing reviews like this from visitors show why this unique community event is still so important for Jersey. Win or lose, Battle still brings the island together to celebrate creativity and working as a team. Daniel Skip, ITV News.
Well, so much work put in by so many people, but there can of course be only one overall winner. Let's see the moment they were announced.
The Prix d'Honneur, which is the highest in class 9, 10, 11 and 12, goes to the Optimist.
Yes, the Optimist Club winning back the overall title from St Clement with their tribute to a centenary since the end of the First World War. Their Flanders Field float complete with trenches. We have a large Tommy statue and of course the horses. Well, let's join the designer from the Optimist Club, Steve Bouchard. Steve, we just saw you celebrating there. You must be thrilled.
We're absolutely delighted. There's been an awful lot of work by the team put into this year's float, and to win back the Prix d'Honneur is just exceptional.
Now, I felt very emotional watching it go by. Every time it went by, it kind of gave me goosebumps, and I felt quite, really emotional. It was bold to do that at Battle. Were you worried about that?
We were initially worried about taking on such a theme, such a poignant subject, but we've had tremendous support from people like the British Legion and local historians, and they've backed us from the start. The float's been in the planning for 2 or 3 years, and we've really paid attention to detail to make sure we get things right.
Yes, talk us through some of that detail, because you spoke to historians, didn't you, to make sure it was right?
Absolutely. The British Legion have sort of verified everything that we've done. We've had permission to put the poppies on the float and the crosses on the float, and little items like the Bible and everything you see in the dugouts and the trenches has been, we've made sure that they're authentic.
3 years this was in the making. What we're going to see next year?
Well, we've got a few ideas, but it's a bit early to tell.
You always keep your cards close to your chest, don't you?
We do, yes. It's part of the club's tradition, really.
Well, thank you very much, Steve, and congratulations again. And I'm joined now by Deputy Russell Labby, who's one of the judges at Battle. What were you taken by this float?
Well, as you just said, the response that this float got from the audience was a very emotional response. People were welling up, and that's unique. I've never seen a float like this before in Battle. Steve is a genius. He pushes the boundaries. It's also beautifully executed, and if you look at that wonderful statue of the Tommy up there, it's the tilt of the head that just tells 1,000 stories, doesn't it?
It does, and yeah, we talked again about that emotion. And what do you look for generally at Battle for those people that do take the top prizes, not just this year but every year?
Well, I personally do like to look for something that's original and new, and but we have various categories that we have to look at the colour and the design, and the design is key. You've got to start with a good design. We look at the execution, the workmanship, and lots of floats had trouble today because it was pelting with rain when they arrived here. And then for the third category, we look at the overall impression, it's called, how it looks on the avenue and the reaction it gets and how alive it comes, really.
Well, this did certainly come alive. Thank you very much, Deputy Russell Labby. This is the winner of the Prix d'Honneur today, but they weren't the only ones taking part in the parade. Today, the first ever Battle ambassador took to her float, and this morning I went to meet Arcadia to find out how preparations were going.
Myself and Lucy, my consult this year, have been here since quite early getting our hair and makeup done. It's been going really well and it was nice to be pampered.
I can imagine. It's very nice having your hair and makeup done. And what are you going to be wearing on the parade?
I actually had trouble finding the perfect dress. So what I did was I found a lovely dress that I loved the top of, but unfortunately the bottom just wasn't quite battle enough. I wanted something that made a little bit of a statement. I went up and saw Anna Trigg and had her fit a skirt on for me. She basically made my dreams come true.
So you've got a beautiful bespoke dress to wear?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lovely bow on the back, and that was something I hadn't actually thought of.
So apart from wearing the lovely dress, what are you looking forward to most about the parade?
So probably seeing the floats from up above as well, because obviously I'll be quite high up on the float. I've been around on float tours and seen the floats quite close up and in detail actually. But it's all a bit different when there's music added, the atmosphere, the people dancing and all that kind of thing. So it'll be nice to see all the other floats in all their glory as well. So yeah.
You are the first Battle ambassador. How does it feel to be the first person to hold that role?
It's absolutely amazing, but it does add a little bit of of pressure, of course, because I am the first.
What else have you been doing as Battle Ambassador?
So I've had loads of duties, which I actually wasn't expecting, to be honest with you. So I opened the fun fair. I had a lovely tour around Highlands, and I went to Alderney week.
Yeah, I saw you there earlier this week.
Cavalcade Day, sorry. Yes, I saw you there. It was amazing. So that was on Monday, and I really enjoyed Alderney. They're all so welcoming and kind, so yeah.
Well, have a brilliant time on the parade today. I bet you can't wait.
Yes, I'm so excited. Thank you.
You join me now in the woods with the St Clement entry to Battle. Usually quite a dark and moody place, but I can imagine for tomorrow's moonlit parade this is going to be anything but dark and moody, because it will be covered in lights for that special evening parade along Victoria Avenue. And of course all the floats will be covered in lights tomorrow for the moonlit parade, which means that for people taking part in Battle, the work isn't over. They will be uncovering the lights that are under some of these flowers, putting more lights on and getting it all ready to wow the audiences tomorrow night.